YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Stay Puff here, back with another video. As I told you guys earlier, I had a tutorial video coming. I took my Lebron 12 Heart of Alliance and I gave them red translucent soles. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I did that and what I used to achieve that. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, I mean, they were clear soles, they were going to yellow, so I wanted to try something. And you know, you guys liked when I did the black bottoms. What else did I do? I did these. The OG 6s, they were the infrareds, painted them blue. That wasn't really the sole, but you know what I mean. But anyway, this is what I'm going to show you today. Show you what I used, and show you how I did it. Anyway, so to get started, I have my undyed Lebron 12. See the bottoms? I mean, they're still pretty clear, but still. What I used, Angelus red leather dye, which I bought off of the Angelus site, along with the Angelus Soul Bright. So what I did was I took like 2 tablespoons of the red leather dye, right, and the equal amount of Soul Bright, which again was about 2 tablespoons. I mixed them together in this little jar to get the color that I wanted, which, you know, worked out pretty good. I mean, the color matches up pretty well, I think. So I put those 2 together, put them in this jar, stirred them up. I used 2 brushes for this. One with like a angled edge, very thin, so I could, because I didn't tape these up. You know, most of them I did tape up, but these I didn't. So I just used a fine edge brush. What brush? This is a number 4 angular shader, and I used one of these thicker brushes for the bottom to get that you know, full coverage instead of trying to do everything with this little one. So basically, to prep the shoe, I used some sneaker serum that I got from the Sneaker Movement to clean the bottoms with a scrub brush, get as much dirt, well, all the dirt off as possible, so that because you know, if you try to just paint over it, if the dirt breaks away, that's gonna go with it. This dye is very potent. I mean, I got some on my hands, so be very careful with this. I recommend putting down a towel or something. I don't have anything down, but I did when I did these, because this stuff gets on anything and it's pretty much done. So let's get started. I already have my dye mix. Like I said, you see I already did the other shoe. I want to save this one to do it with you guys. So let's get this stuff out the way. And yeah, let's get started. Alright guys, so you see I got my my dye already shaken up. My shoes all cleaned and prepped. I'm not doing any tape, but I'm going to use my my real fine brush. Make sure I don't got any dye on my hands here. And I'm going to get started. Just very little. Start out with the edges. Going all around, nice short strokes. Being very careful so I don't get any dye on the midsole, because once I do, it's a wrap. Like I said, very little, short strokes at a time. Not rushing. The key to this is patience. You know, everybody wants to grab a paintbrush and call themselves a customizer. I am in no way, shape, or form a customizer. I do this on my own shoes. That way, if I fuck them up, oh well, my bad. I will not do this for anyone else. unless they're a pair of beaters and we're practicing or something, you know, something you don't give a shit about, then I'll do it for you. But if they get fucked up, not my problem. Again, being very careful because I get it on that midsole, it's a wrap. I have to go back in there with white paint and repaint them. It's tedious and time consuming, but the end result is pretty dope. Again, it just takes patience. If you got patience, you can do this. You know, patience and the right tools. You know, you go in here with a frayed brush or, you know, just not the right brush for the job, you're going to get dye or paint everywhere, you know. I see a lot of people posting shoes for sale that they attempted to customize and pretty much just fucked them up. And now they're just like, hey, you know, get these off my hands for $20. You know, they probably spend more than $20 on the stuff to dye them. And now they're basically giving the shoes away to someone who can fix them. But like I said, I'm just going to use this brush to go around the whole edges and get in close. And then I'm going to take the big one and do the bottoms. I'll show you that as soon as I'm done cutting in all these edges. Alright, so pretty much went around the whole shoe, finishing up this last part right here. Very tedious, time consuming. I mean, if you don't care about the shoe, then you can rush through it. But it is a pain in the ass. This isn't like the paint I used on the foam posits. You know, that wiped off. This, you get it on the shoe, it's a wrap. This ain't wiping off. But again, this is a shoe that I really don't care about. I don't really wear it too often. If I do, it's to the gym. So anyway, there you go. You see I did the whole pretty much outsole with the fine brush. Now what I'll do is I'll take the big brush that I got and I'll just like really get into the bottoms. You know, I don't gotta be as cautious or concerned, you know. Just get nice heavy coverage in there. I did 2 coats on these on the other pair, so that's you know, that's where I wanted it. I guess if I wanted it darker, I could have kept going, but I was 2 coats gave me the color that I was looking for. Again, like this, you know, you gotta really get it on there. Also being careful that, you know, you don't run down the side of the shoe with it. You know, I gotta be careful on the edges over here. Get it in there. Kind of goop it around. This is my first time doing this, so, you know, if I'm doing anything wrong, you know, forgive me. For anybody that's watching this and knows actually what they're doing. This is my first time using the dyes or whatever. Like I said, this is why I only do it on my shoes, because if I fuck it up, then oh well. The dye and the So Bright, I think they cost me $15 on Angelus Direct, and the little thing I mixed them in along with the brushes I got at a Michael's Craft Store. I think I paid maybe $6 for everything. I still have more than 3/4 of a bottle of So Bright left, so I mean I could still use that to ice up some shoes if I really wanted to. And there's plenty of leather dye left. I don't know what I'll ever use it again for, but that was like the smallest bottle they had. The So Bright was probably the most expensive thing. I think that was like $12. I think the dye was like $4, something like that. But anyway, you guys see what I'm doing. You get the idea. Getting good coverage. Again, this is the bottom, so I'm not being as cautious as I was with the sides. Alright guys, as you can see, I'm almost done with the bottom. It's a pain in the ass on these. They got a lot of grooves and shit on the bottoms and the pods, and so I'm like really caking it on there, trying to make sure I get full coverage on everything. Then as that's drying, I'll probably go back and hit the sides with another coat. The sides is where I really do the 2 coats, not the bottom, because I mean it's just the bottom really, who cares. But you can see I'm gooping it on there. It's got dark spots. I'm just trying to get that coverage in there nice and heavy, so I don't need to do a second coat. So many little ins and outs on these. I apologize for the long video, but I'm trying to show you guys how I did this from start to finish. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, once that all dries up, it'll look good. I'll go over it again just to see if there's any little, like right in here, little tiny spots that I missed. Make sure there's no big goopy spots that you'll be able to see. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's a dye. It's a lot. It's not as dense as the paint was, so it's actually easier to work with. But more dangerous, so to speak, because if you get it on anything, it's a wrap. You have to go back with some white and repaint the shoes, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll hit up the sides again, let it dry, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay guys, so I'm all done. It's still drying, but this was the outcome, finished product. See, it's still wet. I did get a little spot right there with some red. You can barely notice it though, and since it's like really the bottom, you're not going to see it at all. But that's pretty much it, step by step, of how I did it. And here is the end result. Instead of the clear outsole, which eventually would have turned yellow, I have the red translucent. Again, what I used was the Angelus So Bright and the Angelus red leather dye. The bigger paintbrush for the bottom coverage, and the number 4 angular shader to get the edges. You can tape them up. Like I said, I really didn't care if I did ruin the shoe. It was what it was. I didn't give a shit. But fortunately, I had a steady hand and I really didn't mess them up. But anyway, that's my video. Thanks for watching. Follow me on social media. Those links will be in the description. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.